Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Book, unpacking Black financial culture, building wealth from the inside out. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Thomas, and the author of the book, Black Financial Culture. If you do not already have a copy, please go to Amazon, grab a copy today, and actually grab one for a friend of a friend, and a family member and read this book in community. It was designed to be read in community, and I hope that it allows for you all to have amazing, joyful, and sincere conversations about money. So, without further ado, I want to get into chapter 7 here, and there are a couple of excerpts that I want to read from, but this particular chapter is titled No More Wall Streets. So it's a play on the concept of Wall Street. It's a play on the notion of um, Black bodies being utilized to build up Wall Street. It's also during days of slavery. And if you don't know that history about Wall Street, definitely do a quick Google search or ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you like to use. It's also a play on why it's understandable that individuals build up walls to protect ourselves or to protect themselves from some outside threat. The issue, the issue with walls, unfortunately, is that even though it may protect us from outside threats, it can also ensnare us mentally, emotionally, etc., from being able to tear down the walls and to experience life with a sense of fullness that we previously lost due to some form of hurt that impacted us in a very deep way. So when we put up these walls, we're not just putting these walls up for a particular situation. We can actually be putting walls up for every situation, and that has a direct impact on our capacity for deep and meaningful relationship because everyone is not out to hurt us. And that can be difficult to hear, but there are a lot of good people in the world who are well-intentioned and want to do the best by you or by me, right? So there's some healing that has to happen. So one of the excerpts here, and I'll read this, is a lack of trust is the precursor to the downfall of relationships. And many of us have found ourselves on the receiving end of betrayal. So why then would we engage in any process that could benefit others? Why would we establish insurance policies and go through a time-consuming estate planning process to secure a better tomorrow for our kinfolk? Why would we save for the future and invest in helping future generations? No one was there for you in your time of need. No one left you an inheritance. No one cares about your well-being, emotional, financial, or otherwise. I've personally witnessed how unresolved bitterness can wreak financial havoc in an individual's personal and financial life. Worse yet, the devastation can become generational and create blockages like the pungent smell of stagnant pools of water. And again, this kind of plays to this whole notion of walls and recognizes why we have walls, even recognizes why we may be apathetic towards others, lack empathy and compassion, because it's not reciprocal. Nobody is compassionate towards me. Nobody wants to understand my story. Nobody wants to understand my needs, my hurt, my trauma, my pain, but yet you want me to be this way with others and just to have a smile and just act like none of these things happen. And might I add, have had a direct impact on shaping the person that I am today. And I didn't have therapy. I didn't have counseling. I didn't have safe spaces unpack it. I had to deal with it in silence. And if I did bring it up, I might have been shamed for bringing it up. These are very real emotions as it relates to our walls and why it's so easy to become insular and to believe that we don't need community and we're better off on our own. Um, it's a very true reality and state of being for a number of people. Okay? So further along in this book, I kind of share a little bit of my story about hurt and bitterness and actually exploring forgiveness as a strategy for wealth and well-being, generally speaking. And this is one of the conclusions that I came to. If hurt people, then heal people. And if healed people heal people, there's a massive opportunity to create roaring currents of trust and currency in the Black community, which can create lasting ripples for generations to come. Wealth without wholeness is nothingness, and healing happens through forgiveness of self and others. And it's such a powerful sentiment, especially as it relates to the Black community, generally speaking, because there's a lot of conversations around Black economics, Black wealth, Black financial stability, so on and so forth, support Black businesses. My stance on this has been the same for a very long time. Without trust, there is no mechanism for there to be flow of capital in Black communities to see the growth that we hope for. And we keep trying to have this conversation from a capitalistic standpoint of let's just get more businesses, and then businesses will drive growth, and then hopefully individuals will seek to spend money within the community. And if we have those dollars circulate more and more and more, then we can benefit from the taxation of those dollars and then improve our infrastructure, maybe better our schools, attract more businesses, and we start to see this growth spin wheel kind of happening, or flywheel happening. The issue, though, is that this isn't about Black businesses, it's about Black trust. And whether or not within the Black community, whether it's through leadership, our neighbors, the institutions that are pillars of our community, do we feel as if those individuals will violate our trust for financial gain? So, as you can see how this plays out, if we're playing the capitalistic game, meaning that we pay people very little who are wage earners, and the owners of said companies are the only ones that stand to benefit, we basically kind of reproduce the same type of cultural norms that have a lot of people today feeling disenfranchised, um, feeling as if there's no real opportunities for upward mobility, so on and so forth. This doesn't mean that capitalism doesn't work, but it means that maybe now is an opportunity to revisit what capitalistic ideologies make sense within certain communities, while also thinking about the welfare and the stewardship of community, the stewardship of environment, the stewardship of precious resources, right? And how all these things can be coupled together to create something anew, because within a Black community, and because of the distrust of institutions and distrust as it relates to how people change when they get money, and individuals not doing what's in the best of the community, but doing only what's in best for themselves and to enrich themselves, that's not going to be viable necessarily for long-term success. However, trust and healing will. So my question to you in that chapter is, maybe we're getting it wrong. Maybe we're trying to play the wrong game, or maybe now's a fascinating opportunity to reinvent what success and wealth and well-being looks like in the Black community. So I hope that this was helpful. If you haven't gotten the book, get the book. Until next time, you have more power than you think. Own it. Bye.